Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Made Me Do It. I have a new package that I recently received from BK or Baum Kuchen in California. They are one of my favorite shops to order stationery from online. So I thought we would do this unboxing together. And then I have a couple ideas of projects for how I plan to use these new products. So I thought we could make something together after we tear into it. Okay. So this is the package. Always so much fun to open a BK package. Trust the process. The receipt is in there. I just love the way they take extra care to make every order feel like you're opening a nice gift. Very creative and thoughtful packaging. So I tend to reuse a lot of the stickers and the twine in my journals and future projects. Even this brown paper can be reused in vintage vibe spreads. Oh, pretty stuff. Okay. Now this is a little sticker freebie that they included. Thank you so much. A lot of nice quotes there and some stickers that look like stamps. This is a new one, so that'll be fun to use. Thank you, BK. And this order contained 4 items. So 3 of them are stamping related and we'll open them shortly. This 4th one is a wax seal, and I have a couple other wax seals in my current collection, but this one is a bit different because it's a mini, so it's smaller in size, and instead of having the separate engraved base with a larger wooden handle, and even save the cute little sticker that represents the pattern I ordered. This is like one solid piece that has the engraving on the base to make the wax seal. So it's quite heavy. And there's what the wax seal looks like. Looks like the little, let me see if I can zoom it in. You can see it looks like a bow tied on some string. So very cute. Looking forward to using that, and we'll use this in one of the projects here before I close this video out. So that is the wax seal. And then this single stamp is a wooden rubber stamp that bears the fragile symbol, handle with love. And they frequently include that vinyl sticker in their packaging. I thought it would be cute to use not only in journals, but in mail that you send out. So that'll be fun to use. Set that to the side. And then these 2 sets contain several acrylic stamps. So instead of being rubber stamps mounted onto a wooden base, these are the type that you put onto an acrylic block. And when I had already pulled an acrylic block to use, but I didn't realize that these actually include a couple of their own small acrylic blocks, so that's nice. There's 2 little sheets in each set, I believe, if I can get it. The material's wanting to stick to the little plastic baggie here. So I can get it out without having to cut the bag open. Okay. So this is the first of this set, and this is the second sheet. And so you can see that this first set is more like, excuse me, abstract type shapes. You can see it better, I think, against that background. But this brand or company also, let me see if I can reach around here and find it. They also have a washi design that's available through BK, and you can see I've gotten much use out of this. But this washi incorporates the shapes that come from this set. So pretty cool. So there's those. And then this set is called Garden, I believe. And it also includes a couple abstract shapes in there, but it's predominantly more recognizable symbols. Like, I love this bird, and a lot of florals, like the leaves and flowers. There's a cute little bee, rose, but they are quite small. So these could be used in a lot of ways. In your journals, making tags, ephemera. I'm just gonna have to tear this bag. I hate to do that, but I tend to want to stick to that plastic surface. So there's the butterfly, the bird, and 2 more acrylic blocks to go with them. Oh, there's another bird and a lot of leaves. So very cool. So I thought I would try them out with a couple different ideas. I'm just going to pull this little mat here to use for stamping so I don't get ink all over my leather desk mat. So obviously they can be used directly on paper and journals, things of that nature, but one idea that I had, I thought we could look at quickly and just see how it turns out. I have all of these little paper strips or scraps that resulted recently from making some printables and ephemera. These were just little strips of cream colored paper that were trimmed off the edge of other pieces, and I thought we could stamp on them and kind of make some homemade, almost like washi strips. So let's try the abstract shapes first on this larger piece. And this would be similar to the washi that I showed earlier. Ooh, I love that sound. Nice. Okay, so we have a fresh acrylic block here to use. And you could either put multiples on there at one time or just do them individually. I like a lot of these that just have very fine textures engraved into the stamp. Let's see. If you did it individually, you could be more intentional and, you know, space things out. I'm going to go ahead for the sake of time, because I'm obviously going to be playing with these quite a bit in the future, so I can try it different ways. But here I'm going to go ahead and lay some out. Let's do this one kind of at an angle. I really like this texture. I'm going to lay out several of these. And the benefit of doing them individually is it would probably be a little easier to ink them up. I'm going to have to be a little careful here. But with these Versamagic little ink pods, you can be pretty precise when you're inking something up. So I'm just going to use some different colors here. I may have gone a little too heavy on that one. I need to practice my stamping skills. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to stamping, but I've been having fun lately just playing with my stamps more so than I ever have before. I used to have all of my stamps in a drawer, desk drawer, and when they were stored like that, I very rarely reached for them. But since I've recently reorganized my office and put a lot of my stamps out in the open within reach where I can see what I have, I find that I'm really reaching for them and using them a lot more often here lately. So it's good they're actually getting some use now. Okay, so we have 4 different colors here. And the nice thing about the acrylic block is you can see where you're placing something. So even though like this is at an angle and they're kind of in line, obviously some of these shapes are going to hang out over the edge. You could even tilt the block a little and put the whole design kind of at an angle for more of that abstract vibe. Cool. You can see how that turned out. And then I should have just left the lids off the stamps to, let me do that real quick. I'm not going to completely re-ink each one because there's obviously a little left on each design, but I want the washi to look somewhat consistent. So I'm just gonna refresh each one just a tiny bit so it's not a dramatic difference between the first and second generation side by side. And so last time we kind of tilted down, so this time let's kind of tilt up. And you could do this with any stamps that you have in your current collection. Obviously it's fun when they are tiny like this, but even if you had larger stamps, you could just make sure that you actually make contact with a portion of the stamp that you like. So for example, if you had something larger like this, you could just ink up and use the corner and get some of the foliage on the stamp and do it at different angles, or, you know, just whatever. Be creative, play around. Remember which ones I tapped over already. Okay. Let's get a little more of this kind of peachy color that's been cut off each time. I'm going to drop down lower. Okay. And then you could even just put a portion like so. So this is going to be fun because, as you can see, there's 2 sheets of these abstract shapes, so a lot of different possibilities here. I'm going to get one more little section and then we'll see what it looks like on a journal. How about that? So there we've got some kind of homemade washi strip. So let's see, I've got a journal here nearby. What is today? Okay, so we will take our little washi strip and just put some glue stick. Is that going to hang off the page? Nope, it'll fit. I'm just going to put some glue stick on the back. And let's just lay it down on the outer margin. So super cute. So that's a good way to use up if you've just got trim strips or, you know, paper scraps in your collection, kind of making your own washi for your journals. Love that. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to try involved the wax seal, but I thought we could use some of these stamps and the wax seal to make a little tag here. So I'm going to use more of the glue stick and just lay down some of this Tim Holtz washi paper that I have some scraps here left over from a recent project. Whoops. This is very delicate. I just tore it. Okay. So there's that. And then let's put some brown paper over that. Y'all let me know in the comments what you've been working on lately, if you've been trying something new. I feel like that's one positive thing that's come out of this recent stay-at-home situation, is it's made me feel like I have a little more time to try to maybe, you know, stretch my creativity and try some new projects. This came out of an old Reader's Digest book. Just glue it down. And you can see how the edge of that paper looks a little brown and distressed like you commonly see in vintage spreads. And what's really cool about that is I've not used any of the Tim Holtz distressing ink on this book. It just looks like that because it is legitimately an old aged book. So a little authentic aging there, kind of cool. Okay, and I've got some little, let's see here, some little ephemera squares that I recently made. And these I did intentionally distress. They were originally, that's what this project came from. They were originally cream paper. So let's put, for some texture, let's put a little Avril yarn behind this. I've got that washi paper glued on my hands. Okay. Tell you what, we may do our wax on top of that. I don't know if it'll be too thick or not, but we can learn together. Let's go ahead and get this paper down. A vintage stamp would look really cool on here as well. I have some, I just didn't think to pull them out, so I won't make you guys wait. Let's try some of these garden stamps. Oh, I love that sound. Okay. I like the fern leaf. This one almost looks like it has some berries. Yeah. Let's do the little berries. And I'm just going to go with black. I did pull some green ink, but I'm just going to go with black since we've got some black stamping on that ephemera here. I had pulled all of these previously. So I have 3 different shades of green. And one of my initial thoughts was, in making the washi paper, that it would be cool to put several of these different leaf patterns on here with the different shades of green and stamp those out on the paper strips. So that's another idea if you happen to have some botanical stamps. Let's see. Oh, pretty. And then maybe just one more. What other kind of leaf do we want? And we'll do our little, put our little yarn down here. And let's see what this wax seal looks like. I'm hoping that yarn is not too thick, and it may very well be. But like I say, if it is, then we'll learn that together. I just love the way it looks being thick like that. So to me, it's worth a try. I'm going to put a dab of glue stick down here and put the yarn on top just to keep it from being completely loose.
Okay.
And I wanted to try a new wax stick that I had, the type that you put in a hot glue gun. But unfortunately, the only glue gun that I have is, I guess, a mini glue gun. And so the wax stick that I have is too large to fit in the opening. So that did not work out. So we're going to go with one of these others that I had. It has the wick on it. One little piece of yarn that's sticking up may get in the way. A couple little drops fall in there. Okay, and then here's our seal. Whew. Getting a little smoky in here. Okay, I'm just gonna let that cool a minute and we'll pull it off and see how it goes. It looks like it's hardening. I've not done a whole lot of wax seal projects in the past, so I'm not sure if there's like a kind of a common formula to follow, like 30 seconds, a minute, how long you're supposed to let it actually cool. It's probably been close to a year since I've handled a wax seal, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. It imprinted. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom you in. And there's our little tag, the little mini bow wax seal. Cute. Okay, so lots of possibilities here. I hope this gave y'all some ideas to try as well. If you have any questions or comments about this order, just leave them down below and I'll try to answer the best I can. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.